Hello and welcome to Edupedia World.
So right now we're inside After Effects, where we'll be doing some green screen keying. So what I've got here is some footage of these two guys. I found it on the internet. I've got some footage of these two guys and they're standing in front of a green screen. So what we want to do is we want to just quickly cut them out like this, and I'll just change the composition settings a little bit. There we go. Now I've got this footage. So what we want to do now is that we want to key these guys out so that we can put something in the background instead of this green color. So how to do that? We want to use a plugin that comes with After Effects, and it's called Keylight. So type in Keylight, and with the layer selected we can just double click and it's going to be added. So what Keylight can do is that it can go in and then pick this green color, and then it's going to make it transparent. So we want to choose our screen color, and by default it's set to black. We can just choose this little pick whip thing and just click somewhere where there's a green color, and I don't want to click near the edges. I actually want to click kind of close to the skin, because that's the most crucial parts. So I'll just click right here, and as you can see it's already starting to work. So you can see here where it says view, we are looking at the final result, and that's basically where the green color has been removed. And if we click right here, you can see it has been made into an alpha, like transparent. But as we can see down here in the corner, there's still quite a lot of noise that we want to try and eliminate. And also here around the edges you can see there's some kind of weird highlight around them, and we also want to try and remove those. So we actually want to change the view that we are viewing, and what I like to use is called Screen Matte. If you click that, you can see the black areas, they are transparent, and the white areas, they're going to be what we will see. So in the perfect scenario, you want the green parts to be completely black, and then like their body and their head and hair and stuff to be white, and then like where there's hair, you would like it to be kind of a gray. But since these guys have very short hair, it isn't going to be like that half transparent area. So let's go back to the Screen Matte, and let's try and adjust it. So to adjust the Screen Matte, we want to go under this tab called Screen Matte, and we can start changing these two values, the clip black and the clip white. They are going to be the most powerful. So if we increase the clip black value, you'll see that the black area starts to, like, the noise in the background just disappears because it's clipping the black. So you can of course crank this up as much as you want, but you're starting to get some problems. So you want to increase it just enough, and here around 22, the last bit of noise in the left corner disappears, and I'm actually quite happy with this. So I'll go back to the final result, and as you can see, if I turn this back to 0, the noise in the background just slowly disappears. But if I were to turn it up too high, then you can see that their face and their body is starting to like it takes some of the edges off. If you zoom in here at the ear, you can see it like starting to cut off his head and his ear, and we don't want that. I'll just put it to around 21 where we had it. As you can see, it's just taking the right amount off. If we look at the screen matte, we can see that they are almost completely white in these areas, but there are some dark parts like here and up here, and we want that to be completely white. So we can do that by changing the clip white value. So if you look here, there's these darker parts. If we start to turn this down, it's going to be completely white. And for me, a value of around 90 should work pretty nicely. As you can see here on his arm, there were some darker parts as well. They are all completely gone now. So let's try and go back to the final result and see what we've got. I'd like to just take a look at the source. Yeah, and yeah, something that I didn't understand was why there was a dark part right there, but that is explained because there's some little hole in this shirt. So let's take a look at the final result right now, and it's actually looking pretty nicely. We have got some weird edges right here, and let's try and resolve that problem now. So you can see we've got these options over here. Screen shrink grow. It's going to shrink. It's like changing how much it's eating off. And we want to be very careful with this, because this can remove the parts we don't want, like this. See, it's gone. But if you look at his head, it may have chopped off some of his hair. But I think it's actually doing a pretty nice job. So let's just keep it like that. Let's go and check on this guy. And I think it's looking quite nice. We can also increase the screen softness. That's just giving a slightly softer edge, because nothing is as hard as this may seem. But if we increase it too much, as you'll see, it's going to give this weird halo. So I just want to increase it to something like 1, and that's just going to give a little bit of softness. So I would say that's about it for this the keying part. Now we want to do something called spill suppression. So let's type in spill advanced spill suppressor and drag it onto this video. What this does, if you just disable it, since this has been shot in a green room, all the green colors, they're going to reflect onto their face, and you can actually see it in this guy. He has quite a lot of green right here in his face, and everything is just going to get a slightly green cast. Also right here you can see on his watch it's very green, and you may not be able to see it, but this guy also has a green cast in his face that gives him a unnatural color, or a skin tone that's not natural. So that's what this spill suppressor is going to do. It's going to go in and it's going to remove the green cast. So if we set it to ultra and zoom in, maybe to this guy's face, you're just going to have to play around with this color and pick the spill. You can see this is doing way too much. If we were to maybe lower this a little bit. Let's try and pick this color. So you want the color that's like right in the transition. And you can see if we increase this, you can really start to see that there's some green cast in his face, because when I increase this, it's been removed and his face turns more magenta or like red. Now it's very green, now it's very magenta. Let's just find somewhere in the middle where it looks natural, so around there. And now I would say that these two guys have the right skin tones. You can see what it does if you turn it on and off. Their arm, their face, everything is very green. Now they're not. So what can we do now? As you can see, we've got this nice alpha channel, and this just basically means that we have got these two guys cut out on each frame. And what would you have done if you didn't have a green screen? Well, you would have went in with a mask and started cutting them out, you know. And it would have taken 1 billion years. But with a green screen, you're able to do it extremely precisely in just a few seconds or minutes. So let's just try and add another background to this video. So I will go to my textures folder, and I've got this picture of a inside a barn or something. As you can see, I thought it would be pretty funny since they're standing there and smelling to themselves. I'll put them in a staple. So let's add a curves adjustment to both layers, so we can try and match the colors, or I would say more the brightness. Go into the footage, just match that as nice as you can, and as you can see, they're perfectly keyed out, and even when their hands are moving, it still looks nice. So this would probably have been more believable if the background was a video as well, but I think this looks quite alright. When I chose this background image, I was very sure to make it, or choose one that had the same perspective. So these two guys have been filmed like directly in front, and therefore I wanted a picture that was taken like at a 90-degree angle, from straight up or straight down, so it was directly in front. If I had something that was like in bird perspective or frog perspective, then it wouldn't really work. So I'll say this is let's try and do one more thing before we stop this. So I'll add a ramp. This was something that you could see on like on YouTube or something, where people would stand in front of this and talk. Like this. And as you can see now, they're in front of this cool background. And if you knew how to do 3D and stuff, then you could surely build a like a studio around them to make it look like they were in some kind of a studio, even though they were not. So that's about it for how you can do green screen keying with Keylight.
Thank you for watching Edupedia World. Stay tuned for more videos.